So today I'm going to teach you how to make a Chawa cake and its packaging. Also, Mommy3XO also has a tutorial and I wanted to remake it but adds a packaging tutorial to it as well. Before I get started, don't forget to click that subscribe button down below and let's get started. So the very first thing I did was cut my foam into a triangle. Now I'm going to mark some lines to where I'm going to make small indents for each layer. I'm going to use a ruler to make the lines even. Every other line I color it in so I know where to cut. And I'm basically just going to cut on the shaded lines. And I'm going to round the edges for everything else. And for the bottom, I'm just going to round it off just a little bit, but not as big compared to the top. Make sure to make the foam smooth. Now you want to grab some white paint and basically paint the whole thing, and even though my foam is already white, it makes this foam a lot squishier. And I'm going to add multiple layers, and I added about 4 layers. Now we're going to add the colors, so I already added pink. Now I'm going to add orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And for the top of the cake, you want to make the big dots, and I actually followed the pattern to the real squishy, but of course you don't have to. Then you're going to get some white paint again and paint the rest of the layers. For the packaging, you're going to use a ruler so you can make straight lines all around the squishy. Then you're going to move your ruler 1 inch away from the squishy and basically trace it from there. And I'm also going to add tabs. And in the front of the cake, you don't want to make a tab. Now you want to grab some paint. You can use blue, but I'm going to use purple and basically paint the whole thing. I'm going to use a pencil so I can mark out the dots, and then I'm going to use some white paint and paint each one. Next, you're going to make a trapezoid in the middle of the triangle. And add an oval at the top of the trapezoid. Next, you're going to draw the Chawa logo on top of the triangle, and I'm not going to explain it because there's a lot to it, but basically just watch what I'm doing. Now in the trapezoid, I'm basically just writing homemade squishy just to tell that it is and to make a little detail. Now using white paint and a paintbrush, I'm basically going to paint around the trapezoid and the Chawa logo. Sorry that this part is blurry, but I'm basically using white paint again and a small paintbrush to paint over homemade squishy and my name. So basically what I wrote in this section, I just said do not eat, made in China, and product of Chawa. You're just going to paint do not eat and made in China in purple. Now you're going to need all the colors of the rainbow and basically use each one and spell out product of. Then using red paint, you just want to go over Chawa. In the next couple of clips, I'm going to use all these colors and I'm going to mix them up. So I have red paint and some white paint to make a pink color. And you could just use pink paint, but I didn't really have the shade that I liked. Then you're going to paint that on the Chawa logo. Then using some kind of purple paint, I'm using that to paint the banner of the logo. Now using this yellowish kind of color, I mixed white to make it just a little lighter. And I painted the dog's face with the color. Now using brown paint, I'm going to paint the rest of the dog. Using a tan color, I'm going to paint near the mouth area. And its ears. Using white paint, I'm going to paint its eyes. And paint the word Chawa on the banner. Also, I'm going to make a couple dots on each side of the logo and one dot on each side of the Chawa banner. And its little mouth. Using purple, I'm going to outline the whole logo. Also, I'm going to use white to make a little highlight in the eyes. Using light yellow paint, I'm going to outline the banner. And I'm going to use some white paint and paint the oval and use purple paint, make a little triangle and caution. I'm going to use some clear tape and tape the whole thing and then cut it out. I'm going to fold the edges in. And cut the tabs. Then fold them in and then tape them. Also, I taped the front. Using a blank sheet of paper, I'm going to fold that in half and draw a semicircle, and then I'm going to cut that out. I am tracing it out on another sheet, but of course you don't have to. And for the tag, I basically painted the logo and a rainbow in the background, and then I taped both sides and cut it out. And I'm going to punch a hole at the top. I'm going to put the squishy in the packaging. And at the bottom of the packaging, there's a little bit of it, and I'm going to tape that. Using some ribbon, I'm going to tie it up. Then I'm going to add a tie through the tag. Then add it to the packaging. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I did make a smaller one, but anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!